Hi everyone, this is Bart Walczak from creativeimpatience.com. Today I want to show you a new script that I created for After Effects. It's called Master Thumbnailer, and it helps you a lot with creating thumbnails for your files. For example, here I have a folder in which I have one composition and 4 video files, and I want to create several thumbnails for each of those. And up until recently it has been quite a challenge. And right now, let me show you how easy it is. But before I run my script, let me show you what you get with this script. You get a wonderful user guide where everything is explained, and of course you get the JSX script, and then you get 2 files with output module presets, which you must import before you run the script, because otherwise the script will not run. So if you are using After Effects CC 2013 and above, you're going to use the first file, and if you're going to use After Effects CS6 and CC, then you are going to use the second file. So now let me import these presets, and I do this by going to Edit, Templates, Output Module, and then click on Load, and then I am going to choose the CC 2014 because this is the latest After Effects, and of course it's going to load the templates, and now we can go to our window, CI Master Thumbnailer, and open the script. Of course, you can see that I already used the script here before, and I docked it on the left because, well, it's quite tall. Okay, so what's going on here? First, you choose the place where all the thumbnails are going to be stored, and of course, you can choose any place you want. I'm actually pretty happy with the destination as it is now. Now this checkbox is going, if you uncheck it, then all these thumbnails are going to be put into this folder, but I don't want this. I want this structure, folder structure replicated. So I'm going to check this box on. Now I am going to choose the thumbnail size. And the thumbnail size I can either select in pixels or in the percent of the original clip. Actually, I want this to be uniform, so I'm going to choose 160 by 90 pixels, very small frame. And then I can choose the resize method. And resize method, I can either choose the fit to the width or height, or fill, non-proportional fill, or the center crop of the file or a composition. And in After Effects CC and above, I can also choose the resize algorithm. In CS6, only the bilinear is available, so this menu will not appear in CS6. But in later versions, it's going to appear. So I'm going to choose bicubic, and then I can move on to select which frames I want to have generated. Of course, the simple choices are at start, at end, and of course at markers. And it's going to choose the composition markers, those one in here, not the ones in the layers. And for the clip markers, it's going to choose markers which are in the clips. You cannot set these markers in After Effects. You have to use Premiere or Prelude to do that, but both After Effects and the script will respect the markers which were added. Next options are you can generate one frame at, let's say, 25%, or at 25th frame, or at 25 seconds, if you want for some reason to do that. Because the clips are of varying length, I'm going to generate one frame at 1/4 of the length of this clip. Then also you can generate a thumbnail every 7 frames, or every 7 seconds, or every 1 second, and so on. Also you can generate a frame every 7%, which is going also to vary between the clips of varying length. Okay, so I'm not going to choose this, but I'm going to choose the option to generate 7 thumbnails per clip, which is going also to include the at start, at end, but you don't have to worry to uncheck those boxes because no frame will ever render twice. I made sure of that. I just choose those options, and we will see what happens. Next, you of course have to choose the render setting, and this is your usual render settings. And here in the output module, you have four choices right now, and it's mostly the choice of the file format. But I also made it possible for you to create your own. If you create an output module with the name that starts with the thumbnail keyword, then it will also appear in this list. So if you, for example, want to create the Targa export, you're free to do it on your own. And finally, there is a way to choose how the thumbnails are going to be made. And actually, I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to create thumb underscore name and underscore counter. This is a frame counter. And I'm going to skip the extension. You can use the extension, but it's going to be ignored for compositions unless you put something with .comp, for example, or whatever. So I'm going to ignore extension, and also I'm going to add this naming scheme into my naming preset. And finally, I can also save settings to make sure that when I open the script again, everything is going to be retained. Now, these settings are saved as per After Effects version. So if you are updating, then the script will reset. But if you want to retain these settings, then you simply need to go to users, username, library, application support, creative impatience, scripts, CI master thumbnailer, and then just pick a file which you are interested in and then copy and rename it to your current After Effects version. And all these settings will be preserved. Everything is explained here in the user guide. So don't worry if you don't remember it right now. You can always check the user guide for a proper path on both Windows and on OS X. Alright, so let me go back to the script, and now let me hit proceed, and let's see where it lands. Oh, first I have to choose the folder, of course, and then let me hit proceed, and let me wait for After Effects to finish queuing the render and rendering. Oh, actually, it finished already. Well, this is because I had it cached already. Okay, so let me now go to the destination, and as you can see, I have thumbnails for our composition. This is great, and for our files as well. All right, how cool is that? And of course, there are more thumbnails for composition because I also chose the option to render at markers, and this composition has 4 markers within the range, or maybe even more. No, just 4. And then the clips have no markers. So obviously there will be more frames rendered for composition than there will be for the files. All right, I think that mostly covers it. One last thing, if you are using After Effects CS6, the script will run properly. One thing is that the user interface is going to be a little bit mangled. So, because it involves a little bit more work than it looks at the first sight, then if you are using After Effects CS6 and you find it not appealing to your taste, let me know, and I'm going to see how many requests for CS6 fix I'm going to get, and then I will fix that, because in all honesty, I don't know how many people are still using CS6. So, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed using this plugin. I hope it saves you a lot of time. And this is Bart Walczak from Creative Impatience. Have fun, be creative, goodbye.